Right, 14 January 2021, and I'm joined by Mr. Tinashe Jonas, President of Fadzayi Zimbabwe. How are you, sir?
As usual, I feel blessed. COVID-19 is still not yet in my house, and being invited on Gambakwe Media, it's a highest honor.
Thank you very much, sir. And I apologize for the delay. I was having system challenges today. It was on my side. So I hope that this will be sorted very, very soon. So I want us to go straight into the topic, why we started this discussion. And I know everyone wants to know your thoughts on this issue. MDC Alliance spokeswoman, Fadzayi Mahere, was arrested for a set of tweets that she put out last week. What are your thoughts on this arrest overall?
Overall, the first is that Fadzayi Mahere is not really conditioned for the trenches. She's in South Africa, I can say she's a cheese girl. In Zimbabwe, I can say she's a salad. Some can say slay queen. But now, unfortunately, she fell victim to a political party that is whose leaders, Charlton Wende and Nelson Chamisa, they are sacrificing their fellow members who languishes in prison, and them they don't go to prison. So they are the architect of a false narrative, and their narrative is anti-Zimbabwe. It's anti their supporters. It's anti-Zimbabwe. I mean, it doesn't serve the national interest of Zimbabwe. So Fadzayi went into a narrative attracted by a senior position, and now she's selling the narrative, and it's a first time now to realize what it takes to be in the trenches, and everyone can tell it was a different Fadzayi in the court. The court would humble you, and we saw her falling in the car trying to wave. It's a sad reality that a beautiful, intelligent girl has fallen prey to a gang, a political gang that is trying to remove the government unconstitutionally, and they don't have any plan except to sacrifice their people, their fellow members, so that the world can amplify the arrests, and then to attract sympathy, and in a vein that United Nations somewhere, United States somewhere can just pop up and bring the military and say we are removing ZANU-PF.
Okay, did you watch the video where the mother was fighting with the policewoman?
I didn't see it.
Okay, let me play it for you quickly. It's a 10 seconds video. Then we can ask the next question. Right. Sorry about the noise. It's quite high. The volume there is quite high. I got this video from a person who was inside that taxi before it was published to anyone. And they said to me, Officer Varova Mwana. That is what I got. And then after about an hour, I started to get calls. And people were saying, Pane Mwana Auraiwa, or a child has been killed. He was hit by a battle stick. And Initially, I was even afraid to look at this video. From the look of this video, does it look like the child was killed?
Okay, yeah, I want to say this video I watched it, but when you said the mother was fighting with the police, I thought Fadzayi Mahere's mother. I didn't know that. Okay, this video. Okay, you know when there's a commotion, and people can say anything out of emotions, because we know that it's not clear that the child is dead here in this video. So I think most of the information is coming from the members of the public who are screaming some information to the police. I think it was a hit of the moment that people reacted emotionally and in anger.
Okay, so the child is not dead. You could see a child who's dead is not going to behave the way that child was behaving.
To me, it's clearly that the child is not dead.
Okay, I agree with you. Now, why did then the narrative that the child is dead go around? We also published the same thing. Every newspaper in Zimbabwe published the same thing. Why did that narrative go out?
Okay, thank you. Remember, in our previous discussion, I think almost 2 days ago, I said currently the MDC toxic and hollow narrative of wanting sympathy in Zimbabwe, that we can't breathe. There's no democracy. The democracy, everything, we are under attack. That narrative is it's highly pitched than the government narrative. MDC has sold their false narrative very well. So what they do is they wait for a certain incident and then they amplify it, and then it becomes like in Zimbabwe, women, kids are being killed willy-nilly, and they've got their strategic partners, online medias. They sponsor, and some sponsored by Jonathan Moyo. So it's a coordinated thing. Once that video was released to some few people, because they've got a network of media and certain people, it then made it to go viral. It's a strategy. They are selling a narrative in the absence of a strategy. They don't have a strategy to remove ED, to remove ZANU-PF. So what they are doing is to sell a narrative to attract global sympathy and condemnation of ZANU-PF and the government of Zimbabwe, that there's dictatorship, there's everything. Yet we need national interests. Every Zimbabwean must protect the image of Zimbabwe. But MDC, in the absence of a strategy, they are selling a narrative. No one wanted to verify if indeed the child was dead, and the child, who is the mother of the child. It's actually ZBC, which had an effort to look for the mother and interview the mother. And the same MDC apologist, alliance apologist, like Simbachi Kanza, were comparing the mother on ZBC online and the mother in the video, and saying this is a fake mother. When you say this is a fake mother, you need then to produce the authentic the mother you think is the original one. But they never brought any original mother. They were actually appealing to the members of the public that, can you track this woman and bring her to us? Up to now, no one has brought any other mother. But they are on record saying the woman who appeared on ZBC TV is the real mother. So it's selling a narrative, which is
okay. Right.
Yes.
I want to use the evidence. So let's go to the tweet. Fadzayi Mahere tweeted this. A police officer beat a woman who was carrying a baby on her back. His baton stick hit the baby on the head, and the baby died. The unconstitutional culture of violence and the use of disproportionate force by the police Let's remove the banner there and see if we can see more. Must fall. Right, she said it must fall. Does this constitute a crime?
Okay. All right. To me, this is 100% a crime. Why? Fadzayi Mahere, let me just say the MDC Alliance team, they are always either creating news or amplify a certain event or news to the world. Remember, Fadzayi Mahere is not a simple Zimbabwean. Fadzayi Mahere is a Zimbabwean who is representing a party, and she talks on local media, regional media, international media. And in all her narratives, she talks negative about Zimbabwe. The government of Zimbabwe, including its departments like police, the Central Intelligence Organization, the army, or whatever you can call, the duty of the government and citizens of Zimbabwe is to protect what we call national interests, which encompasses even the image of the country. The image of a country is of high value because it creates the relationship between Zimbabwe and the other neighboring countries, Africa, and the world. Where is the crime? I want to say there is press freedom in Zimbabwe. There are journalists from the state media, from the private media, bloggers. Anyone in Zimbabwe can wake up and start an online TV or an online newspaper. There are so many Zimbabweans who are bloggers. And that is press freedom. Then there is freedom of speech or freedom of expression. Even according to United Nations, Convention of 1948, they say freedom of speech or expression is the right of everyone to express yourself, to seek or to be seen, and to impart information or opinions across frontiers on any platform and through any media. But they also mention that it must come with special responsibilities. I'm talking of international law. In freedom of expression, there are limitations to that. It's not absolute. In any country, there's no absolute freedom of speech. Why? Because you can announce, you can even announce on a TV that the president is dead. And it can cause a certain negative impact or implications in the country. So the freedom of expression is limited, number one, to law or to the constitution of Zimbabwe. Number two, freedom of expression must not harm certain people or harm national image, national interests. In this case, she is mentioning the police, that the police in Zimbabwe, they can kill willy-nilly. That has got a big bearing, a negative bearing on the image of the country. Potential tourists, potential investors, it's damaging. And no one from her job scala and Opwe Chingono had any little effort to verify if indeed the child was dead. So to me, it's a crime because these people are deliberately tarnishing the image of the country. The same country that they purport to love, the same country that they want to lead.
Okay, so you are saying the tweets by Fadzayi Mahere were tarnishing the image of the country. I want us to go through the three tweets. So the first one I just showed. The second one is after the police had issued a statement that this child was not dead. She tweeted this. What is your view on that tweet? Was that tarnishing the image of the country?
Maybe you can read it aloud.
Okay, they kill a baby and they can't even apologize. They try and deny an incident caught on video. What a shameless lack of empathy. What a violent, ruthless lot. Police brutality must fall. We need new leaders.
Okay, yes, okay. Now I want you to see that the police offered an official position, an official pronouncement. In other words, that's the government position, that no one is dead. What leader Mahere was supposed to do? The police have said, challenged. Let me say the police have challenged here that we don't have a dead child. She was now supposed to bring some evidence, either tracking the mother down, and then maybe there's a funeral or the child is in a mortuary. She was supposed to come back on the second tweet with evidence or information, and that information was supposed to prove that the police are lying. But instead, she is not dismantling, she's not dismissing the police statement by any means of oral evidence or hard evidence. She ignores that route and goes on for a kill and say what a ruthless lot. And in this tweet, she is saying every police officer in Zimbabwe is sort of designed to kill at any given time.
Okay, let's go to the next tweet. And yeah, I get your point of what you're saying. So I'm noting your point. Let's go to the next tweet. And this is the last one that I've got. What steps have you taken to hold the officer responsible for that regrettable act of police brutality to account? Will the public be furnished with a detailed account of what happened? What steps are being taken to prevent this in future? Is this not a fair comment?
Okay, all right, okay. To me, it's not a fair comment because the first two tweets have already they are conclusive in what because she already speaking on record with authority that the police are brutal and they've killed a baby, and then now she's coming back again to ask about the steps to remedy this and the steps maybe to discipline the fellow police officer. This is deliberate because she is not interested in knowing if this incident really happened or not. Was the child beaten or not? She is deliberately ignoring that and focusing on this has happened. The child has been killed. What is the fate of the police officer? What steps are you? It's all about say she has already concluded that the police officer was brutal and the baby has lost their life. So
okay, but why not bring the police officer?
Okay, all right, okay. Remember, number one, Fadzayi Mahere is not in the Ministry of Home Affairs. She is not an official who can summon a police officer. Now, because she doesn't have those powers, she can then, the role of opposition is to monitor, criticize, and the government. If you are in a position of not having facts, you can't then blame the government and tarnish the image of the government while you are not holding on to anything, because the facts are stubborn. It's here now. The government of Zimbabwe has not said there's a child which is there's a baby which lost their life. A person who accuses another is the one who must prove the allegations. But the government has never said anything. So they are not obligated to prove a story, because according to the government, that story has never happened.
Okay, I think you're right there. I get your point. Now I want us to go to the evidence produced by the police. You can see the woman on the screen.
Yeah.
I took a screen grab of the video. And then you can look, when you look at her, and then you look at the second picture. Okay, you can clearly see that this is the same woman. To me,
yes,
I spend time with, so I don't want to waste time on conspiracies. To me, this woman is the same as this woman.
Yeah, I want to add that maybe to people who are not in the media industry, the complexion is different, because the cell phones or cameras used in these two videos are different. One will be of high quality, one of low quality. So people must note that the camera people, the equipment in these two videos is completely different.
Okay, I only had to look at the ear and the nose bridge. So for me, if I look at the ear, right, that ear there and this one here, is the same. There's nothing you can do to an ear and to a nose.
Yeah, and Zim-I got it wrong, because they were talking of complexion, that the other one is darker, the other one is lighter. That is motivated by the lighting and the lighting and the camera.
Okay, but I'm not even concerned about Zim-I, because obviously Simba is at his own level in terms of this kind of things. But I want us to continue to be focused, because I don't want us to be distracted.
Okay.
The woman is the same. They have got the baby. The baby is not dead. There's no funeral. There's no person who's going to say my baby was killed and they're just going to sit here and do nothing.
Yeah.
They went to a hospital. I think it's Western Hospital. The simple thing to do for the police, was it not going to be set up a press conference, put the mother here, put the child, put the police officer, kill the story, embarrass MDC Alliance?
Okay. You know, there are so many narratives which are coming out there. So I like what your last statement, that there was never a funeral, and a woman can't come on TV with a fake baby, while at least her real baby is buried or in a mortuary. Because this woman who was on TV, he has got siblings. She has got probably a husband or a boyfriend. She has got parents. She has got neighbors. Let's assume she's going to church, because majority of Zimbabweans are Christians. In a church, there are people who know her. This woman was not picked from Uganda or from Egypt, that no one in Zimbabwe would recognize her. So I think to take this woman on TV, it was evident enough, because the MDC Alliance now, they don't have their own woman. They don't have their own woman. They can't reply to that. To me, that was hard evidence, which is MDC Alliance has never responded to that.
Okay. The only point I'm trying to make here is, was arresting Chingono, Scala, Mahere the best and wisest move to do from a strategic point of view, compared to exposing them as liars?
Okay, define the strategic point of view, so that I understand the context of how the arresting was the detrimental or was good. What strategic context are you looking at?
Okay, my understanding is that on 21 February,
Yeah.
the United States of America is going to be reviewing some of the sanctions on Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Obviously, if sanctions are removed, it would be a big blow to the MDC alliance. It would have been then to their advantage to create a situation where Zimbabwe cannot get those sanctions removed. Hopo Chingono is going to be in jail now until the 18th of February, 2 days before the sanctions are set to be removed. Mahere is probably going to be also in jail for a while. Scala is appearing in chains, which is a narrative that there's no freedom of expression in Zimbabwe. Trevor Ncube has just issued a statement today. I don't know if you saw that statement where he condemns the arrest of these three. Okay. The embassies, if you look at the embassies, let's look at all the embassies, right? Let's start with the US Embassy. There is the United States Embassy. They are complaining about Chingono, right? The British Embassy is complaining about Chingono. The Embassy of the Netherlands, Dutch Embassy, is complaining about Chingono. So basically, we have all the people that are supposed to remove sanctions, because sanctions are critical. We need to remove sanctions from Zimbabwe. We have everyone now against what has happened now. And media reforms is one of the key things that needs to happen for sanctions to be lifted. Was it strategic to take this bait?
Okay, now I understand your question. Number one, I wanted to touch on okay. Let me introduce what the context of of the introduction of ZIDERA or sanctions on Zimbabwe. United States said ZIDERA is going to facilitate a peaceful, democratic change. It's going to offer Zimbabweans a peaceful and democratic change. Sanctions were introduced in Zimbabwe, according to US for two things. Number one, for the government of Zimbabwe to introduce progressive economic reforms, economic policies, including withdrawal from DRC, because the DRC was critical in a way that it was America obviously was in DRC. We know United States sponsors a crisis in a country to loot minerals. DRC will never see stability because there's minerals. And Zimbabwe withdrew from DRC. Fine. Now, what is left now for Zimbabwe to be totally removed sanctions is the peaceful and democratic change. What do we mean here when we say change? For Morgan Tsvangirai to become a president of Zimbabwe, that's the change. If MDC Alliance leader Nelson Chamisa tomorrow, let's assume ED resigns and say Nelson Chamisa become the president of Zimbabwe today, I can assure you that the sanctions will be removed. Why? Tinashe Jonas was arrested in March 2019. When I was arrested, no US embassy which tweeted, no UK embassy, Netherlands, whatever, they never tweeted. I think I attempted on bail maybe 3-4 times. I didn't get bail. They never tweeted. If any leader from ZANU-PF is arrested, they don't tweet. If other opposition leaders are arrested, they don't tweet. They only tweet when someone is from MDC Alliance or an affiliate of MDC Alliance, like the Jacob Ngarivume, those ones are branch managers of MDC Alliances. Hope so these Western countries, their agenda is clear. They want to escort MDC Alliance to power. It's not about people of Zimbabwe. Because no country can want Zimbabwe to perform well in terms of economy by giving it an economic embargo. That is rubbish. So Zimbabweans now, hence MDC is refusing. Whenever you talk about the sanctions, MDC Alliance would say corruption. Yet a grade 5 primary pupil in Zimbabwe can tell you that the word corruption and the word sanctions are totally different words. But within the MDC Alliance Party, their political dictionary, the word sanctions means corruption. So these guys, you saw even today in the Daily News, Timber, I think it's Jason Timber, they say is the Secretary of Presidential Affairs. I mean, he was saying, as MDC Alliance, we are ready to meet with ED. Chamisa is ready to meet with ED, but we are being ignored. We don't want to go to Poland because other leaders there, we are not in dispute with them. What we want is to meet ED directly and correct the problems in the country. MDC Alliance are telling themselves that they are super Zimbabweans. They are the best Zimbabweans. Their solution, they've got solutions, but MDC Alliance as a party is crumbling. There's no way that a party can have national solutions when at party level it's crumbling. People are running away from their party to join the Monzora, some to join ZANU-PF or whatever. Senior leaders, the Tapiwa Mashakada, the Baskiti, the whoever. So, I mean, they are in constitutional crisis. They are in political strategies crisis. Chamisa doesn't have strategies. People who surround him, like Welshman Mube, they are tried and tested political failures. I mean, Job Scala. Job Scala has got ambitions to be president of Zimbabwe. That's number one, and it's allowed. It is right. Job Scala has got ambitions to be the president of MDC Alliance. Job Scala is deliberately getting arrested. He's crossing the line to be arrested to score some political relevance. Who doesn't know that is Scala? He's MDC 99. He has yielded nothing. He came back to Alliance to seek political relevance. There's nothing politically in Scala.
Okay. I agree with you, everything you're saying. But I want to show you a set of pictures.
Okay.
And then I want you to just note something. Okay. Namatai Kwekweza. She's a nobody.
Yeah.
She if I see a passing, she can't tell me anything that political at all. Probably a student.
Okay.
Alan Moyo. He's a no one. This guy was at I think that was 4th Street or somewhere, talking to people about corruption. He's a no one. These three, I think you notice them. They are all over. They take selfies at court. They're taking a selfie right now at court. They are basically clowns. They're clowning around.
Yes.
They're no one.
Yes.
Right. You are taking a nation like Zimbabwe, such an important country, and arresting these people, that you can see that these people are not politically relevant. Mahere is not politically relevant. Chimono, if you leave him tweeting, no one cares about his tweets. He starts fighting with Japreza and with anyone he can find, with Tobam. He does things on Twitter that are not important. Okay. Job Scala, he just wants a job in parliament. The people that the government of Zimbabwe is arresting, they are irrelevant people. Okay. They are not a threat at all to the government of Zimbabwe. Okay. The question that I asked was, is it strategic to keep arresting these people that will never achieve anything politically? If it was Chamisa who had tweeted this, I would have maybe said maybe this is a big thing. But the people that they're arresting, does it make any strategic sense?
Thank you. I want you to understand one thing. The government has got departments, meaning there's a Department of Justice, the Department of Police. There's no Department of politics, meaning we don't have a Department of politics in Zimbabwe that decides that is what these guys were crossed the line of police, the constitution of Zimbabwe. The police, they enforce the law. ED doesn't have powers to say when police they are going to arrest someone they think has broken the law. ED can't call a police officer and say, I heard you are arresting Fadzayi, please can you drop that? Because our constitution is saying no one is above the law. If a certain boy in Gambakwe was maybe tempted to rape and was not even successful to rape, he must be arrested. So, according to our constitution, no one is above the law. And the president or the ministers, even the minister of police, must not interfere when the police officers feel like law has been broken. So let's not assume in our government there's a department of politics that looks at sanctions. We don't have a ministry of sanctions. That is always seeing if citizens are behaving, it then prefect them and say, sorry, this behavior, our sanctions won't be removed. This one, opposition leader is killed someone, but let's just ignore because we want the sanctions to be removed or come 21 February. A country is not run like that. It's not a deal. A country doesn't work for a deal that we want to trade with China. So if there's a Chinese national in Zimbabwe who can even rape a local citizen, then Zimbabwe, because they are on the verge of signing a trade agreement with China, that Chinese citizen must be left scot-free. When a country is run like that, it becomes a banana republic. It's no longer a country, but it's a family. It means one family is in charge of the country. A country has got departments, and those departments must work and operate independently.
Okay. So you're saying there's nothing that Idim Nangaba can do. He must just watch while the lower ranks are damaging, because what the police are doing, don't you think is damaging the reputation more than what Mahere is doing? Okay.
So can we agree, me and you, that when opposition leaders break the law, we should suspend the constitution for the international relations? Can we agree that?
No, I'm not saying they must suspend, but this is a national crisis. What is happening here is going to make sure that the sanctions are not lifted on 21 February.
All right, thank you. Let me tell you the unfortunate reality. When our constitution was crafted, I want to believe there's no word in the constitution, there's no article in the constitution dedicated to the removal of sanctions. Our police and our justice system, they operate under the custodianship of the constitution. That's why I said we don't have a department in Zimbabwe or any other country, department of politics. Politics is a word, but we don't have departments in any country of politics. What we have in Zimbabwe is when you are arrested, you are arrested by the Department of Home Affairs. When you are in court, it's the Department of Justice. These are two different departments which they operate independent, although the Department of Justice needs the Department of Home Affairs to act first, to arrest, open a docket, and then hand over the docket to them. They are interdependent, but they are independent of each other. So let's not confuse one thing. Zimbabwe is not run according to sanctions. Zimbabwe is run as a sovereign state. The minister incorporated, Minister Moyo, our Minister of International Relations, the ministry is tasked to create relationships with the other diplomats and other countries. That's a department which is full-time in that. But this department can't control the Department of Police and Justice. Said, hey, guys, behave. Don't arrest them now. Let's wait for the sanctions to be removed, and then we can pursue these guys. That will be a republic, a banana republic. So our constitution is not containing an article of Zidera.
Okay, I think we have covered this topic in great detail, and I now want us to. I want to give you a break. There's someone who wants to join. I want to see if his network is going to work. So I want to give you like a 2 minutes break, and then we come back to conclude. So Changamire, I'm going to add you. So
it's not containing an article of Zidera.
I think Changamire needs to stop playing us back. Changamire, please don't play us back. I want to unmute you. Right, so I think, Changamire, you can now speak. I've unmuted you.
Yes, I can hear you, my brother.
Correct. Let me just remove this banner from your face.
I want to give you a stop playing our.
Okay, I'm going to remove Changamire because he's not following the rules. So what I want to say is, let's say we are here where we are now. Hopewell Chingono has been remanded to 18 February.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Fadzayi Mahere is going to be in court.
Yeah.
And probably Scala was in court today.
Yeah.
What would you do if you're Mnangagwa?
Okay. If I were the president of Zimbabwe, what is my constitutional duty? Was a president is tasked on observing and the respect and the implementation of the constitution of the country. His constitutional obligation is to let all the government departments run independently. So the president must not interfere. He must sit back. If he's on holiday, he must enjoy his holiday. A president must not interfere with the government operations. There's a lot of, I want to give you an example that MDC Alliance is pushing a narrative of tarnishing the country. Fantan and the levels, those who follow them, they are ZANU-PF supporters. Those guys are ZANU-PF supporters. They know where represent MDC. They are ZANU-PF supporters. And they were arrested and they were sentenced This the same run independent. It must not interfere. He must see.
Okay, you can go ahead.
The same MDC Alliance, Chamisa Chete Chete Choir members, they started saying this government is evil. How can you sentence them? A small crime that warrants a fine. These are not MDC Alliance members. The MDC Alliance doesn't have any membership proof that these are their members. There's no political victimization or persecution evidence that Fantan and Levels are a threat to ZANU-PF, are a threat to the government. No one has got that evidence. But they were widely condemned. And if they were arrested and released, the catch and release mantra was going to be amplified. So they are pushing a narrative. If the government stands left, they go right. If the government goes right, they'll go left. That's the game they are playing. They are not representing anything. They are not representing any policy, any ideology, any vision.
Okay. But you agree with me that the pictures are not looking good.
Okay.
What is happening politically is not strategic. That's the only thing I can say.
No, I think
the government of Mnangagwa is being outsmarted.
Okay.
In terms of communicating with these international bodies.
Okay. All right. But to me, it's subjective. Okay. I want to deny that you said you are agreeing with me that the pictures are not good. I'm not agreeing. Why? MDC Alliance, what is their game plan in this political contestation with ZANU-PF? Their game plan is that ZANU-PF must go, ED must go. Inside of elections, outside of elections, they don't care. Now, what are they doing to back up the going of ZANU-PF and ED? What they are doing is to play sympathy. They are playing victims in the hope that US, European Union, United Nations would send soldiers and remove ZANU-PF government. So they are playing a desperate game. ZANU-PF is standing firm on a strategy that we won the election, we have got people's mandate, we are supposed to deliver. So there is no need of ZANU-PF to create theater of dreams, theater of power, theater of sympathy, all those skits. ZANU-PF has narrowed them to ZBC. That's where the dramas are being done, soapies or movies, whatever. So MDC is in a game of narration. They are selling a narrative in the absence of concrete strategy, policy, and vision. So MDC is in heaven, ZANU-PF is on earth. So when you are in heaven, you are in heaven. You don't mix with the earth. So there is no contestation between ZANU-PF and MDC. What MDC is throwing anything on the field in the hope that there might be a score from where they don't know. So that's the reality on the ground. That ZANU-PF has got a strategy to retain power. MDC doesn't have a strategy to take that power. So drama, Hollywood, Nollywood is what they are now. So they will produce a skit after a skit. Hopo Chimono's arrest is a skit. I mean, Scala, it's a skit. So, I mean, that's the difference. So, at your age, you can't outsmart your child in terms of energy and in terms of playing. You are a mature person. There's no way you can compete with your child or children on the play field. Your children can play from 6 morning to 6 evening, non-stop. So a kindergarten political formation, one is on top of a mountain, one is on top of a desk, one is screaming, one is whistling. They don't have anything. And I feel pity for people who attend MDC Alliance standing committee meetings, national council meetings. I'm always wishing to get hold of their minutes, and I will laugh and unstoppable, because what is resolution can come out of the MDC Alliance standing committee? What resolution can come from an MDC national council, whether it's executive council, whatever, except let's do this for sympathy. Let's do this for sympathy. Let's cry out for sympathy.
Okay, but that's a strategy. You see, that's a coherent strategy. Let's make these guys look bad. And it's working. Okay. Look at this girl at the center. She said she was taken into whatever underground bunker for 2 nights, and she was abused. Look at the girl on the left. Have you ever seen her saying anything?
Nothing.
Okay, but you know her.
Yes.
The girl on the right, I think that's Cecilia Chimbiri.
Yeah.
If you talk to her for 2 seconds, she's got nothing to say. But you know her. The girl at the center. Have you ever seen her even in parliament, like saying anything? These are people with no political future. Yeah. But you let them occupy international headlines. The girl at the center has got an award, an international award. After she was arrested, she became the young politician of the world, young politician of the year. This girl here, she got an award, a world young person something. Yesterday, a girl called one of the authors in Zimbabwe who was arrested a few weeks back, got a PEN Literature Award. Zimbabwe is getting damaged internationally because these people are being said to be victimized. Hopo Chinyongo is now one of the journalists who won in international awards this year for being victimized by Mnangagwa's government.
Okay, thank you. What I want to clarify here is, if MDC Alliance is tarnishing the image of ZANU-PF, they are getting it wrong, because the ZANU-PF is the government of Zimbabwe. So MDC Alliance is winning on damaging brand Zimbabwe and Zimbabwe as a country. ZANU-PF, I always say ZANU-PF is not a party, it's a logo. A party, it's a logo. Members, they come in, they go out, they come in, they go out. What remains permanent is a logo. So the same person who is a member of ZANU-PF today, tomorrow can wake up a member of MDC. Someone who is a member of MDC today, tomorrow can wake up as a ZANU-PF member. So what is a party? A political party is a logo. Outside a logo, there's nothing. So
yeah, but why does Mnangagwa not come up with a coherent strategy to address this?
Okay, get my point. Get my point. MDC is doing a strategy of damaging the reputation of the country, which is fine. What is the end game? End game is that MDC Alliance, they want power. What they want is power. What is then a strategy? A strategy is a methodology. whether formula or system that you follow to achieve a desired outcome, then in the absence of achieving your objectives, your strategy is called a wrong strategy. ZANU-PF is in power. What is their strategy? To maintain or to retain power. MDC's strategy is to wrestle power from ZANU-PF. Now it's 20 years, maybe nearly 21 years. MDC has never taken power from ZANU-PF, meaning their strategies are not working. So ZANU-PF in principle, ZANU-PF in practice is not bothered by MDC's strategy, because for 20 years now, ZANU-PF knows that this strategy is misfiring. So ZANU-PF now, that's why ED is saying Muchingo Ukura Tichitonga. What ED is saying in short, he is saying you can scream on top of a mountain, you can scream inside water, you can scream anywhere. What you want is not screaming. What you want is power. And the power is with the ZANU-PF. That's why he went on to say, kana ukarota ZANU-PF isingatongi muka ubike doro. Those two statements are telling MDC that you are not yet focused on power. Your theoretical, your skits, they will remain skits and absorbed by international media. But power is in Jongwe House, ZANU-PF head office. So MDC is doing the same thing over and over again in anticipation of a miracle. Now, there's a popular saying that empty vessels, they make the most of noise. So ZANU-PF is not bothered by the strategy of MDC because it's proving not working.
Okay, I get you, and I think that is a point of view which to me is very painful, because I know that sanctions need to go. I do not agree with sanctions. It's affecting you, it's affecting me, and we need a strategy to remove those sanctions. And some of these things, I think they're easy. For example, ignoring Job Scala, ignoring Mahere, ignoring Hope Wechungono, when you know that they're tweeting on purpose. For example, it's like ignoring, what is that guy who is in Jonathan Moyo? He can tweet all he likes, you ignore him. What is so difficult about that?
Okay, thank you. Mr. Gambakwe, I think we are missing each other. Let me point out where we are missing one another here. I think we are talking the same thing, but different words. What I'm saying is, there is a government is run in different departments or ministries. There is no ministry which has got powers to temporarily freeze another ministry for a month or for a year. There's no ministry in Zimbabwe which can go to the Ministry of Home Affairs, which includes the police, and tell the Home Affairs Minister, Kazembe, that, comrade, we want sanctions to be removed in February. Can you create a book of special citizens that must be ignored? Number one, Hope Wechungono. Number two, Fadzayi Mahere. Number three, maybe a list of, let's say, 100. These citizens, in the next year or two, leading to the review of Zidera, can you please don't touch them? Let's say the minister agrees it's unconstitutional. what happens is that someone can also do something. The number would keep on growing and growing. People would then cry that there is no rule of law, and it threatens it when a constitution is not observed. What is at stake? National security, even economy, everything. Because the rule of law is government. The word government, it means to govern. What is to govern? To govern is to implement or to enforce the constitution. You don't. There's no way. The word government, it means to apply the constitution of the country. Otherwise, if there's in the absence of the constitution of Zimbabwe, there's no government, because the word government must be formed constitutionally, and it's not only limited to formation. It's also formation and operations. So then let's not make a mistake there. The word government means to apply the constitution in the formation of the state and in the operations of the state. So the moment we suspend, we take other citizens. Okay, if Wopo can be ignored doing what he wants, what about a minister? What about a member of parliament? So what about a billionaire like Strive Masiwa, who can even donate to COVID-19, who can even do a lot in Zimbabwe? He must not be touched. What about Gambakwe Media? It's giving a platform to Zimbabweans and everyone. Gambakwe Media is playing a role in Zimbabwe, and that means Mr. Gambakwe, even if he can commit a crime, he must be ignored, because his arrest would attract a media coverage, because he is a popular person. The moment we do that, we have lost a country.
Okay, I hear you, but this will be my suggestion.
Okay.
The root cause to me is a lack of a shared set of values. So we don't have common values as a nation. Other people are thinking their interests, other people are thinking their interests. And you always say this, the polarization is the problem. The MDC guys, they feel that they're not part of what is happening in Zimbabwe. They must destroy it so that they build a new thing. The ZANU-PF guys feel that they're in power. They can retain power without the MDC. Is that not the problem? Don't we need then to come around the table and have a common set of values?
Thank you. To me, when you are a Zimbabwean and you are suggesting problems of the country as a Zimbabwean, I won't judge them or dismiss them, because every citizen must contribute to a better Zimbabwe. So every citizen must be allowed to point out what they think is a problem. But what I would do is that I would add, what you have said is correct, because it's your opinions. I would add my own personal opinions without wanting to challenge yours or to dismiss yours. But I think we need to add my own contribution. Zimbabweans, we have got shared values, shared vision, everything. What is dividing us? Number one, politics. How is politics dividing us? Because we have allowed opposition political parties are formed entirely and solely on power. Our political parties are run with one mandate, to wrestle power. What is the problem with that? The problem is that when we are fighting for power, no one fights for the livelihood of ordinary suffering people. So the wrestling in Zimbabwe, it's about chimuti. Ane chitanda ndiani? Atora chitanda, the one who grabs power, he has got that feeling of entitlement, that now I'm the king, I'm the rainmaker. Everyone else sit down. because we are wrestling for power. So anyone who wins the election becomes the champion, becomes a hero, and becomes a super citizens. Those who have lost the power, they become losers. They become sort of irrelevant. So we are in a bloody power contestation. Instead, what we need, to me, we should stop focusing on power. We should focus on livelihoods, on our national interests. What must bring us together is national interests, economy, fighting of corruption, fighting of hate, defending our cultures, our religion. In Zimbabwe right now, a person who goes to Makandiwa Church would dismiss the one who goes to Magaya. There is even politics in Christianity. Look at the drama which is happening in AFM. AFM has got drama probably more than MDC and SANU. Then we ignore that. Let's go to Apostle Talent Chiwenga. Apostle Talent Chiwenga believes he is Jesus. Actually, I think Jesus is not even bigger than him. He believes he's God. Just recently was saying Christianity must be banned. So, in other words, he is even better than Christianity. Everyone else in Zimbabwe, politically or religiously, is a devil. He is the only Messiah sent by God. So, that mentality is evil. That mentality is bad. Talent Chiwenga is listening to me is a devil. So we need to speak, to be united. MDC Alliance, Chamisa thinks is the god of politics. Anyone outside of him is nothing. It gives him blinkers from, he's blocked from advice, he's blocked from engaging. He wants to sit down with ED and solve Zimbabwe. Who is saying ED and Chamisa are Zimbabwe, are containing the brains of the national brains? ED and Chamisa are 2 over 15 million Zimbabweans. That's 0.00000. So every Zimbabwean has got a platform to contribute to a better Zimbabwe. Regardless of race, tribe, your financial status, your education. Look at the MDC supporters. They say Tinashe is mentally disturbed. Tinashe is not educated. Why? They look at certain qualities to see you as a Zimbabwean. Yet, when I've got grade 1, yet when I don't have grade 1 at all, I'm equal at equal terms with the Chamisa in terms of being a Zimbabwean citizen. So we need tolerance. We need to see each other at equal terms.
Okay, I think this has been a very long discussion, and we have touched on a lot of subjects. And let's summarize so that people who were not here before can get us. You say that the tweets by Fadzayi Mahere, they constituted a crime. What she did was not lawful because she tarnished the image of the country. These are the set of tweets that we're talking about, where she said and insisted that the police have killed a baby, even after the police released the statement that the baby was not dead.
Yes.
And you also say that Mnangagwa cannot just wake up and say, don't arrest these people who are breaking the law. And then you said, as Zimbabweans, we're too focused on politics to the detriment of our own country. And people like Hopo Chungono, Job Scala, they deserve what is coming to them. Then I looked at the international players, and you said Mnangagwa has a strategy to retain power, whereas the MDC does not have a strategy to retain power, but just to tarnish the image of ZANU-PF and Mnangagwa. And Mnangagwa is now ignoring people like these ones, Alan Moyo, Namatai Kwekwedza, the three girls who takes office. These people, he's ignoring them because they are doing stunts, which are not resulting in anything.
Okay, let me correct there.
Yeah.
ED is not ignoring these people. ED is not a police officer. So let's be clear there. ED is not a police officer. Surely there are so many people who are arrested in Zimbabwe. Someone in Chiredzi, someone in Gokwe. ED can't know everyone who is arrested and who got bail. I was in prison. Believe me, the prisons in Zimbabwe are fully packed. Even myself, in my cell, I was not knowing everyone in the cell. So, to me, ED is not a police commissioner. So, when people are being arrested, it has got nothing to do with ED.
Okay. And what is the solution now from where we are, where there's this polarization, these people on the left trying to make the other people look bad? And so what would we say? Let's say the last word.
My last word of advice, I would advise MDC Alliance leaders and MDC Alliance supporters. We only have one Zimbabwe. ZANU-PF are not angels. They've got strengths, they've got weaknesses. MDC has got weakness and strength, but let's stop tarnishing our image of our country to neighbors or foreigners. Let's engage each other in good faith. In good faith, I need ED, and ED needs me. I need Nelson Chamisa. Chamisa needs me. I need John in Mavuku in Tafara. I need Chipo in. If I can go to, let's say I can go to a hair salon in Zimbabwe, I might belong to Ideal Zimbabwe, but the barber might be a ZANU-PF. If I go to a lodge to sleep in a lodge, the owner might be MDC Alliance. The waiter who can save me might be from Dr. Gosanamoyo's party. When Zimbabweans are in a combi, they don't ask if you are MDC Alliance, who is the owner of this combi? Is this ZANU-PF? Is the driver of this combi is MDC? Is the conductor of the combi ZANU? We don't do that. We are one country. So let's put our political differences aside and focus on our country and the economy. Americans have got a pride. They say American dream. Put America first. Zimbabweans were not doing that. No one is saying put Zimbabwe first. No one is saying Zimbabwean dream. MDC Alliance supporters, anything ZANU-PF, it's wrong. ZANU-PF supporters, anything MDC, it's wrong. There's no province in Zimbabwe for opposition. We don't have a province for a ruling party. There are some people that the husband is ZANU, the wife is from opposition. Surely we are serving one nation. No one is an angel in Zimbabwe. No one is an angel. We are equal. Let's put our country first.
Okay. I think, Mr. Jonas, I enjoy talking to you. A lot of people enjoy listening to what you're saying. And you have quite a large following of people that want to hear what you're saying. Unfortunately, we can't talk for the whole day. We have to take a break and let people sleep. Tomorrow is Friday. So Many people are going to work here in South Africa. In Zimbabwe, I know there's a lockdown, but here in South Africa, people are going to work. So let the people go to work. In fact, what has happened is that because of the lockdown, you can see our numbers have gone very, very low. Our Zimbabwe audience cannot afford to watch such long videos. And we are going to be making a plan, obviously, to resolve that situation. It's something that I'm very passionate about. How do we give people in Zimbabwe access to the internet so that they don't lose out on the debates that are happening? Is there anything else you want to say before we close?
Zimbabwe for Zimbabweans, and let's be each other keeper. Yeah, let's be one people, please.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Tinashe Jonas, and thank you to everyone who's watching on YouTube and Facebook. Please help us to distribute this video, like, comment, and share. And we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got a very, very interesting topic. $2.7 million was stolen, and we'll tell you how it happened and who did it. Thank you very much, Mr. Jonas. We'll talk to you again next week on Monday.
Thank you. It's an honor to be on your platform.
Good night, sir.